So what does chapter 2 mean to you? We're going to talk about that in this next video. Hi Wid fam, this is Leo with One Happy Widow, and today we're going to talk about chapter 2. So last week we had a really long video, okay? I will post a link up here in case you missed it. It's an interview with a very, very nice, interesting lady, Jen from Widow 180, and she does a podcast, so we kind of shared some stories, but it was long. It was over an hour. So I probably will make this one a kind of short one to kind of make up for that. So today we're going to talk about chapter 2. When I first became widowed and I started looking into the Facebook groups and things, I started hearing about people talking about their chapter 2. And I really didn't like the sound of that and how the connotation it brings. And, you know, I never did like that term. I still don't like that term, just so you know, but a lot of times I do use it just because it's kind of universally accepted as a certain type of meaning in the widowed realm, I guess. So I do use it sometimes, but I just kind of cringe every time I do. Most of the time when people talk about their chapter 2, they are talking about a new love interest. I think I'm at my chapter 2. We've been serious for a while and I think he might be my chapter 2. And I think it normally means either your next love interest, your next serious relationship, or maybe your next husband or wife in your life since your loss. And so it has come to mean, it's like been a label, you know, for the person. This is my chapter 2. This person is my chapter 2. And that term, just every time I hear it, it makes me think of second place or runner up or second best. Or just, you know, it's behind your first. If you've ever seen that movie, Talladega Nights, if you're not first, you're last. So, I mean, I guess that means chapter 2 is your, not your first, so your last, which I guess could also be good. But point is, it just doesn't sound as important as chapter 1. It sounds like, you know, second runner up. And I don't like the connotation that, you know, that it brings to the sound of that. So that's really the reason why I don't like it. So again, when people use the term chapter 2, they're generally speaking about the person who is, you know, going to be their next love after their loss. But there does seem to be kind of a great divide between the widowed family or the widowed groups and people. There's the camp that they're open to a chapter 2, and then there's the camp that they don't want to have anything to do with that. You know, you want to do that, that's all on you, but my late spouse was my one and only true love, and that's it for me. I'm done with love. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm just going to figure out life without another person. And it almost kind of puts us at odds sometimes when people talk about finding a chapter 2 or wanting a chapter 2 and not. And it does kind of put us, you know, in a little bit of a divide. But the more I thought about it, the more I read about it and heard what people were talking about, I realized that really this is how we need to be viewing as the chapter 2. Chapter 2 is your new life, your life after loss. It is the second chapter of your life, maybe the third chapter of your life, but it is the next. Let's just say it's the next chapter of your life. It's what you are going to do with your life. And saying that a chapter 2 is a love interest really kind of means to me that if you aren't open to love, then you don't have a chapter 2. Like, you don't get, you know, that second chance at whatever. But really, chapter 2 is just the next chapter of our lives. It's what you make of it. If it's a person that you want to spend your time with, if it's friends, if it's a new spouse, if it's pets, if it's a new job, if it's a going back to college, if it's a moving to a new place, if it's moving in with your kids, it's really what you've made with your life since your loss. And guess what? We all get a chapter 2. It's just whatever we want to make of it. And guess what? You get to choose. You get to pick what your chapter 2 is, or who your chapter 2 is, or whatever you want to make of your life. That's your chapter 2. And if it's a person, great. And if it's not, that's great too. As long as it's what you want and it's for the right reasons, as long as you are trying to go out there, find your happiness again, find your place in the world again, find purpose in your life. If you cannot be happy, then go out and find purpose. And eventually that purpose will give you satisfaction. It will give you happiness. It will give you fulfillment. And that's really why we're here still. So just remember that whenever we start talking about chapter 2, we need to start including that as what we've made of our lives since the loss of our loved one. That's really our chapter 2. So in conclusion, our chapter 2 is the life that we make for ourselves. So go out there and make a good one, because we've still got time left on this earth. There's a reason why we're still here. And so let's go make the most of our lives that we have left. Go out and find your chapter 2, whatever that may be. Comment below what your chapter 2 is, or what you would like your chapter 2 to be, or how you are turning your life into your chapter 2. Let us know how you're doing that, okay? So comment below. I cannot wait to hear about all the things that you guys are doing with your lives in your chapter 2. If you're meeting someone, if you're doing new things, if you're going on adventures, share that stuff with us. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss another video while we talk about, we're in our dating series right now, but after that we're gonna hit a new topic. And so just make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. And until then, we will see you next week. Bye.